Okay, we'd like to welcome you to our city council meeting tonight. We appreciate your attendance here. We have our invocation from Councilmember Smith and a pledge from Councilmember Jensen.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful to be gathered here tonight as citizens and friends of Springville, and we ask a blessing upon our city and upon our state and upon our country. We're grateful for the freedoms and the privileges that we have. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
If we can stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, I need an approval for this meeting's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve this evening's agenda as written. It's not the consent agenda yet, so that's next.
Or, yeah, whichever way you want to do it. Yep. Okay, I have a motion.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Very good. We'd like to excuse Council Member Snelson. He is in, where was it? Oh, is he on the phone? Oh, good. That's good. That's great. He was on the phone in the last meeting and he blew his nose. He thought he was on mute. It carries. It carries very well. Okay, sounds good. We'd like to recognize any scouts or students who are here. Anybody in particular who's here for scouts or students? Okay, if you are, you get a chance to come up, and we've loaded the drawers up with candy. So it was a good thing if you wanted to come up. So anyway, anybody who wants to make a comment, we have one comment tonight. Well, we have more than one comment, but if you do have an interest in making a comment to the council, the blanks are out in the foyer, and just fill them out and get them to Kim so that we can do them at the appropriate time. So. Okay. All right. Dan, we'll turn the time over to you for recognition.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. It's a pleasure to stand before you this evening to recognize the service of a couple individuals in our community who have offered great service on the library board. So I invite the following to come up and stand along beside me: Doug Hamilton, Lisa Willie, Letitia Goodman, Emily Hess-Flinders. Yeah, 3 out of 4. That works. All right. So it's great to have these friends here standing next to me. I'm sure that you guys, as being plugged into the community, are well aware that Springville has quite a number of great volunteers, people that are willing to dedicate their time, their energy, and their service to help in just a number of ways. In the library, we're fortunate that we see, I would say, hundreds of volunteers over the course of the year. These volunteers, I think, are special because they have dedicated to serve on the library board, and so that's a commitment that requires consistency and longevity over a number of years. So oftentimes the service that library board members do are behind the scenes, and so they're not always in the front helping out, but their assistance has helped guide the library's mission and ensure that we continue to serve our community with excellence. So to Doug, Lisa, Letitia, thank you for the many hours you've put into serving the library. Some of these activities may have been tedious, such as taking minutes, formatting policies, reviewing reading assignments, and helping with the Friends of the Library organization. Your commitment and service have not only enriched our library, but have also made a lasting impact on the lives of our patrons. So on behalf of the entire library staff and community, thank you for your invaluable contributions.
some of you may know, some of you may not know, but the library is really the best library in the state and has been for a number of years. And we're very grateful for Dan and for all that he does over there and the programs. And that was one of the aha moments when I got to see the statistics on the library that, was it 80% of the citizens of Springville visit the library during the year, and that on a daily basis there's 1,000, was it? Something like that, people who come and go through the library. So it's an incredible asset to the city, so thank you. Okay, Emily, we'll turn the time over to you also for recognition.
Mine's going to come in 3 parts because
Handle it any way you want.
I'm here tonight to recognize several volunteers and community members for their outstanding contributions to our Salon 100 project and anniversary at the museum, which has really been a great way to celebrate and share our Art City legacy, and especially this incredible history of the Springville high school students who started the salon and, as we've been saying, built Art City. I want to start by sharing a short video clip that encapsulates some from our documentary project that encapsulates, I should have practiced saying that word, huh? Some of the impact of this history and tradition. And it features some of the people Is there a way to make the sound work? Better. Should we just watch it with this without the sound? Or is there a
If you're asking me, you're
I
asking
guess
the
not
wrong
for you.
generation.
Is there a way to connect to the sound easily?
They should be embedded.
It does have closed captions. A little less powerful
Read it
without
for you. It's very hard. Springville.
I'll send this out. It really is a lot better with the sound. Is there? Oh, well, it's not my lap. It's all built in. Ken's it.
I don't know.
And it's also okay. This is a great teaser for if you haven't seen the whole documentary, you want to see it.
Yeah, do the other one. Yep.
This is what will be remembered.
We're gonna start out.
The art.
I have thought at times that if society does value art, it is very hard to convince them they need to.
Springville has probably more art in their homes per capita than anywhere else I know.
When you work really hard for something, you're going to appreciate it. As the schoolers started helping out with the art museum, they found a connection with the art that not a lot of people would normally have, and they had a beautiful tradition of high schoolers really appreciating the art museum.
That's why we're known as art. That's why we have a museum. If the students didn't get excited about it, it wouldn't have happened.
They somehow knew that everything that they were doing was just so important and would provide a sense of purpose to the future.
They knew we will be notes, and this is what we'll be remembered for. The art that's being shown at the Springville Museum of Art.
It does inspire me, because it's happened once before, so I think it's definitely possible to get that level of excitement again and to kind of bring back that feeling, maybe even more so.
And it is usually less choppy too, but thank you, Kent and Josh, for helping with the sound tech. And so I thought that was really nice what Dan did. So I'm going to do the same thing and have our student committee come up and stand with me while I talk about what we did. So Magdalena, Presley, Paige, Hildy, and Nicole, will you guys come stand up with me? And Haven couldn't get work off, so there's one more, but she is at work, unfortunately. So as you guys know, this salon was really started by high school students. So a really important part of this project for us was to have a committee of students that helped us plan for this project and imagine what the salon can be in the future, what we should do to celebrate this anniversary that would be meaningful for high school students. And we had 6 students serve on this committee. They helped us plan events to commemorate the anniversary. They've helped us brainstorm how we could reinvigorate this relationship. They helped us conduct research and advise on which artworks and images from our collection and archives would be most interesting to include in the exhibitions and publications. As you saw, several of them did interviews with the filmmakers who directed our documentary project. They helped came and install some of the exhibitions, helped us actually, a lot of them did a lot of vinyl labels actually, was one of the things they helped with a lot. And each of the students on the committee wrote a statement that's in our printed catalog about what the salon means to them now and what they hope it means to students in the future. And I mean, I'm super biased, but their writing made me kind of tear up a little bit, just how seriously they took this volunteer role at the museum and the imagination. So we also let this committee work with our association's collections committee to nominate works that the students could vote on to acquire for our permanent collection. So they narrowed it down to 3 works that we let the student body vote on, and because of their selections, there's 2 works that we just acquired for the collection that will be in honor of the 2023-2024 student body of Springville High School. So I'm just so proud. It's been such a pleasure to work with all of you this year and the salon and this anniversary. I don't think we could have done it without you. It would definitely have been less, we would have had less teenagers come for sure to the events and programs, and it would have been less meaningful. So we want to thank you all for your service and for all that you've done this year to make this anniversary so special. Thank you. Now me and Gina from the museum will present them each with a certificate and award. So first, Nicole Gonzalez. Thank you, Nicole. Oh yeah, we'll take a
Yep,
picture.
stay right there. Get back.
Presley Johnson, who also was just named Art Queen.
Nice.
Double, and Nicole and Magdalena are going to be on Art Royalty next year. Hildy Mangum. Magdalena Marquez, Paige Smith, and then, like I said, Haven could not make it today. So we just really have loved working with you, and thank you so much. Yeah, should we sit here? And Mayor, can you come down here?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yes, thank
Also, one of the best, this is me being too dorky, but one of my favorite parts about working with the students is they'd always compliment my shoes, and it made me feel really cool. It's okay, Paige especially would always tell me. Okay, so another person we really need to thank who gave, I think if I tried to calculate it, Lee, just come up here. I think Lee has probably given hundreds of hours to this project, and
It's been a pleasure.
it's Lee, we met a little bit over maybe a year and a half ago to say, how can the Springville Historical Society and the museum, how can we collaborate on celebrating this really important history in Springville? And then Lee just took it on. We met with him and Daryl and Floyd, but Lee really took it on as his project and has come and met with me every week multiple times a week sometimes.
Sometimes twice a week.
And one of the really, really important things of this project that Lee helped us do is we conducted over 40 oral histories that will be saved both in the museum archives and in the Springville Historical Society archives, talking to people about, especially people who graduated at Springville High School before '67, about their recollections of the old high school campus and the museum. And that's just been so instrumental to this project now, but it's going to be such an incredible archive for future historians and documenting that history in Springville. And I can't even explain all the ways that Lee's helped with this project and made it really special. When we tried to get just our first event of getting people out to do oral histories, we had like 3 people kind of just trickle in, but we did our big community party it was like 2 weeks ago, right? And we had over 100 people there, which doesn't seem like a ton but for this kind of thing, people from the community coming out to share memories, and I don't think we could have got those people out there and caring about it without Lee's help. So thank you, Lee, for your support. We want to honor you for all you've given to this and all you do.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much.
And should we take a picture with the mayor too?
Yeah.
And thank you, Mayor and Council.
Yeah, Lee's like an ever-ready battery. We appreciate him and all of his efforts, so thank you, Lee. Okay, it's an opportunity for the public to have their public comment. We have Earl Wells, neighbor of mine, here to talk about urban deer.
Thank you, Mayor Packard. Thank you, council members, for your service. And I'd like also to thank the Art Board and the Library Board for their service. 2 wonderful institutions that we've used as a family a lot. I just read a Clive Cussler book today from the library, so appreciate that. I'm here to talk about the urban deer population in our city. And we've had this problem for quite a few years, and the city council has helpfully addressed this problem in the past, but it's increased again. We have a lot of urban deer that were born and bred here in Springville. They don't live in the mountains and come down, in the winter. They are here year-round. And unfortunately, for those of us who enjoy gardening or like to have roses or shrubs or other plants, decorative plants, the deer, especially those of us who live in their neighborhoods, are a real nuisance. And so I'm asking the city council to help us, please, with this problem, to either remove the deer to more natural habitat or to cull them as we have in the past. That would really help us enjoy the city and living in the city.
Okay, thank you, Earl. Do you want to?
Lieutenant Leonard's here. He can speak to this a little more if you want more detail. We continue to have that program in place. For the last few years, the state has significantly limited the time that we're allowed to take deer through their regulations, but we still have hunters under contract. And last year we took how many deer? 25 deer were taken last year, which when we originally did our analysis, we felt there were as many as 400 deer living inside the city that obviously add each year. So it's a program that's funded by the council. It's in next year's budget. We'll continue to do it within the constraints that the state puts on us.
What are the dates that they are allowed?
It changes every year. Okay. So this year will be August and September. So right now, or not right now, a couple of months, right? Yeah. Jumping through the summer already. Yeah.
It's going fast, but not that fast.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the best we can do in trying to manage the very issue. I mean, I live up in your area, and I know that our herd has been thinned out, if you will, but it's certainly not gone, and it just needs to continue. And we just have an ongoing problem of doing it because they migrate down, and it's easy in the wintertime, particularly with a heavy winter like last winter. they'll be coming down and looking for something a little bit easy to eat. So
And the state, just so you're aware, Mayor, will not let us take those deer, and that's why they're limiting the time frame which we can take them. And the challenge, they've continually moved it earlier in the year. The challenge with that is we're also under the responsibility to utilize each taken deer for meat. And so when they're taken down, you have to move really quickly on those to keep the deer fresh.
So keep in touch, but all we can tell you is that we have money set aside, and we do it every year. So
And Lieutenant, just so you're aware, if you put that in the back of your mind, Lieutenant Foster is in charge of the program. So if you have questions about what's happening or whether it's working or to how much, if you just call the police department and ask about that, you'd get Lieutenant Foster.
Oh, that's great, thank you.
Yeah.
okay,
Thank you
thank
very
you, Earl.
much.
Appreciate it. I shouldn't put this on record, but they're in my backyard, and I went out there one time and I got so ticked off. I took a big rock about the size of an orange, and I just wanted to scare the deer, and she was just nibbling away. And so I chucked this rock at the deer, and I nailed her right between the eyes. And she stopped and she looked at me, and the look in her eye was like, "What was that for?" She just kept eating. Oh, yeah, I totally get it. Okay, great. We have the consent agenda, and
I'll motion that we approve the consent agenda except for item 4, which is the resolution approving volunteers for Art City Days. Let's pull that off and discuss it
Okay.
As a council agenda item. So basically items 3 and 5.
Okay.
I motion we approve.
Okay.
Excuse me, 3, 5, and 6.
Very good. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, Stacy, do you want to address item number 4 for us? Or someone?
Troy?
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. Item 4, if you have any questions, Stacy can answer it. The agreement in front of you allows for us to add and subtract from that list as we get additional volunteers as Art City Days approaches. In your packet, you have an attached list of current volunteers, which also includes a number of employees that are not volunteers. So you're welcome to approve the agreement, just with the knowledge that we'll be removing the current list of Art City Days volunteers, replacing it with a corrected list, and then continuing to add to that as more volunteers come over the next couple of weeks.
And one of the main reasons for doing this resolution is to make sure that our insurance coverages kick in as we have volunteers out doing things for Art City Days.
So basically, I'll make that motion, it's the same motion that we approve the directors, specifically Stacy and others, right, to approve volunteers, and that there'll be no list at this time, but the list will be maintained.
Garrett, Kim?
Oh, there is, okay, all right. So resolution 2024-9? Okay, so that resolution. Thanks, Kim.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
It's a roll call vote. Okay. Craig?
Yes.
Mindy? Mike?
Mike has actually dropped off the call.
Okay. Jake?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
On the consent agenda, do we also need to have a roll call vote that I did not have? Okay. On the consent agenda, I'll do the same thing. Logan?
Yes.
Jake?
Yes.
Mike? Oops. Mindy?
Yes.
And Craig?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Okay, item number 7. Troy, do you want to talk about the memorandum of understanding with DR Assumption?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. You've had a pending zoning item for the last couple of weeks on a request for a zone change. At the same time, Assumption had some activities going on their property, which the city had concerns over. There's a memorandum in front of you to consider the resolution of kind of the concerns, I believe, on both sides with regard to what's happening currently on property on the south end of Springville. The city has had a longstanding, actually for more than 20 years, position that nuisance and zoning related items, there's a strong desire of many city councils to resolve those by a property owner coming into voluntary compliance, and I believe that's what's being considered here. The MOU in front of you for your consideration would have DR Sumption Construction LLC voluntarily comply with the zoning regulations there by ceasing some crushing activities that are happening on some lower acreage below an area of their property which is permitted for crushing. They'd remove the crusher from that lower acreage, remove any piles they have on the lower acreage either out of that property or into constructed bins, and submit a completed site plan application for that lower acreage. It's my understanding that the lower acreage, they do have intention to use that for permitted use, and a site plan application would be the way to move forward with that.
Did you say that we have this in front of us somewhere?
Yeah, it should be in your packet, at the end of your packet. It should be the last 2 pages, actually, of your packet.
Oh, not the packet that she put on our.
No, this would be the packet.
The email packet.
The email packet that you received. Okay. The city's responsibility on this, the city has indicated and agreed that as part of their general plan update, which is currently underway, that will evaluate land uses along the SR 51 corridor, including the company's properties. Currently, those are zoned light industrial manufacturing, and it's my understanding several of the landowners there would like to keep that zoning in light industrial manufacturing and not in line with your newly adopted 1600 South plan. So through the general plan process, there would be consideration of what the appropriate uses of that corridor would be. Then lastly, just that third paragraph, if you've been able to pull that up, nothing in here prevents any future action by the city or the applicant assumption. So if they wanted to apply for a zone change or another use, or they apply for a site plan to use with a permitted use the lower acreage, any action along those lines is permitted. And likewise, it gives authority to the city to make zone changes and consider things in the general plan. So that's the MOU that's before you. It's my understanding if you agree to that and the assumption agrees to that, that the intent would be for them to withdraw the consideration of the zone change, which is next on the agenda. But you can certainly ask the applicant any questions along those lines. Do you have any questions for me?
Okay, I have 2 public comments from 2 people, Ben Shepherd and then Brent Sumption.
Ben Shepherd, good evening, Mayor, Council. I'm with DR Assumption Western Paving, and we are here tonight just to say that we agree with the MOU, and we appreciate the City Council for taking the time, Mayor, to come down and explain what you guys are trying to accomplish, and we appreciate your wisdom. We also have already started moving to get it into compliance. I hope to beat the August 31st deadline. And so, but we appreciate it, and yeah, we agree with it, and thanks for the help.
Very good. Thank you very much. Brent?
Yeah, I too would like to add my appreciation to Mayor and the City Council for the time that each of you has spent to come and look at the facility and come up with this remediation process. And so, yeah, thank you and appreciate you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Okay, is there any questions for Troy in relationship to a consideration of it? Okay, I'll entertain a motion then for approval of the memorandum of understanding with DR Assumption and Construction.
I'll make a motion to approve a memorandum of understanding with DR Assumption Construction.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I will second that.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you very, very much, and we appreciate it. Now, I just publicly say the great responsibility is on the city to get the process going so that you can all be part of the process as we look at that area, and we'll certainly do our very best to get that process going so that everybody has voice down there. And I think it's been stated as whatever the city wants, whatever the people want down there, we want to be able to incorporate that and make that look good from the railroad all the way through that. So Good. We appreciate it. And I think that as difficult as this process was, I think in the end it allowed us to be able to do what should have been done, I think, a couple years ago. So anyway, thank you.
Mayor, just for clarity, I think you do have the next agenda item, and,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we've had kind of conversation with staff a little bit. You're okay with that item not being voted on or heard tonight? That would be the consideration of your amendment to the zone map. Is that correct? Perfect.
Very good. Okay. Thank you very much. Yep. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we can, there's probably, or near the end of the agenda, we can probably do that as soon as the agenda's over. The mayor
Okay,
will have
we're
authority
just
to
about
sign.
there, so we'll get her done. We do have a legal item that we need a closed session for, so for legal matters,
Yeah,
Litigation.
litigation.
so we have a question here.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it's a comment.
Or a comment. Did you have something? I'm looking at you, Patrick. Go ahead.
You're on. You're on. Absolutely.
Mayor, Council, thank you for entertaining this briefly. I'd like to have Ms. Gina Wolf come up. So this past week, we were able to have released the best of Utah County rankings. And Gina was mentioned by name as the #1 best of event host planner for all of Utah County. So I wanted to recognize her in front of you, and she has a wonderful bouquet of balloons with the big #1 out there that'll be given to her.
Wow.
On the way out. But thank you, Gina, for all you do. We appreciate it.
Some of us can personally attest to her capabilities, so thank you, Gina.
We've
Oh,
enjoyed
yeah.
it. Thank
She's
you.
helped me quite a few times.
Wow.
Mayor, with regard to that, do you mind if we just kind of list what we got #1 on?
Please, for the record.
For the record, yeah, exactly. And in no particular order, really, but best canoe kayak spot, best city rec center, best swim school, best swimming pool, best health club or gym, best ATV trail, best driving range, best golf course, best golf pro shop, best campground, best city celebration or festival, best event concessions, best parade, best local summer event, best downtown area, best museum or gallery, best place to propose, best event planner, best police department, best library, best teen hangout, and of course, best city to live in.
Wow.
So those are just the first places. There's more.
I didn't hear best city council, but I would put that in there. That's
Fortunately, there's no voting on that.
great. Okay, I'll entertain a motion for a closed session.
I motion that we adjourn this meeting into a closed session for legal purposes.
Okay, I have a motion.
I'll second that.
Roll call. Okay. Jake?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
Logan?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good.
Do you want to sign that before
Yep,
we start?
yep, yep.
It looks like I might.
You're just gonna print it out?
Question, well then, I could not find the memorandum of understanding in any of the 5 emails that I got.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, which one would have been it? Tell me.
Let's see.
So, the Friday, from Friday?
Yeah, so for me, I click here on the link.
So
Wait,
which-
just
which-
kidding. I click here, actually.
City? Okay, was it you the most recent one? So I'm gonna, this is the most recent one.
May 17th,
Is this
titled
showing
May
the-
21, City Council packet.
Is this it?
No, that looks like it's from the state.
Is it from Kim?
From Kim, yeah.
On Friday?
You heard me know.
Was Friday the 17th? Yes, on Friday.
Friday. Okay, let me go in here. My inbox. Did I keep it in there? Oh, right here. Okay, I thought it was, okay, so then on this one.
And then it's down at the bottom. Well, that's just the agenda.
Where do I need to click on city? 'Cause that's
For
not the
me, that's where I click. And she's attached the agenda, but then the packet itself is in the link.
in this.
Mhm.
So it's not attached to the,
Right.
it's not. So that's the problem. Now you have to come in here and then click on a link?
And I'm not sure if there's a particular reason for it.
Yeah, that's very confusing. I'm gonna
You know,
say.
maybe that allows her freedom because she can update it as the meeting approaches. I'm not sure.
Is this it?
Yeah, so it'll have the agenda up top,
Okay.
and then it will have the minutes that we're approving. That'll be part of the packet. And there was, you know, there was an agreement about like the power line thing we did. And then down at the very
Oh,
bottom.
so this is the number of
Yeah,
volunteers.
there's the volunteers.
And the staff report.
Maybe if we did it
I don't see, oh, I didn't include all of that.
The memorandum of understanding is the last item.
So I can go home?
Staff report too.
You might want to come.
Say in here that they're gonna go over and stuff, right? If you read just the agenda, so you have to do everything.
I didn't read my student. Susan said she
Right?
I mean, or like in that
Yeah,
one,
but
it's
this one,
like,
yeah, this
here's
one-
what we're doing, here's the report on why we're doing it, and
But
here's the actual.
if you just read the agenda, then it doesn't say that they're gonna talk about the staff report, or there's a staff report in here. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, the report is like, so it's approval of the resolution for the buyout.
Yeah, which I see.
And the report itself, let me pull that open again.
Yeah, the staff report.
Yeah, sure. Well, we got.
Oh, this is part of the buyout
Yeah,
agreement.
yeah.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I thought it was separate.
Yeah,
from
so
the buyout agreement.
here's like the summary of what it is, why we, the background
problem at
history,
work before, so that's how I knew how to.
about it, and then it even gets into the agreement. That has the actual resolution.
So, and then you're supposed to be able to click on this for the site plan application?
All right,
I don't know why that one's blue, that's,
Oh, maybe it's okay. The addendum, but I don't see where you can click the link to see
so
the memorandum.
this is the memorandum,
This is the memorandum, but it's
Yeah.
in draft. Why does it say draft?
because it's not official until we approve
Sign it? Okay, gotcha.
Because in theory, tonight, we could have said, we motion to approve this with the addition of, you know, they have to paint their fence blue or something.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. No, I don't want to be in the picture. Okay.
Hold on. Let me get it right this second. Just a minute. We're gonna create a thing in
I
here
ought
for
to have one
Lee.
for you, Patrick.
Congratulations, Gina. That's awesome. Oh, even better. I hope it stays afloat. They will.
2335.
2335.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to save it, and I'm gonna call it,
You
and
send
then
me,
you'll have mine on
then I'll
yours.
have yours. Gotcha. 358-4216.
That's it.
Hanging up
Okay.
on you, but I will. Now that I have it.
It gets scary. It's getting closer, too close to comfort. I'm pushing 80.
I hear you. pictures,